Technology is real. What technology is real? From here you communicate to your headquarters and it goes into the universe. And then to the world.
Yeah, if it is used wisely all the time, the world would have been a better place.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah, some are using it to destroy, some are making it to, adjust people's living standards.
You found it easy doing something. I am writing on that very specifically. When you are security minded, you talk the way you are talking. Technology could have brought heaven on earth here for us. Yeah, it was only positively used.
For sure.
But look at you see, this last week, the Palestinians could not celebrate their this thing.
And it is still ongoing.
Yeah,
they're using their missiles, destroying everywhere.
They couldn't do it well. And everything is just blamed on America.
Hello, mic test. Hello, mic test. Hello, hello.
I'm on Picanisa.
Can you just sadly tell me? So what is the event? Let's be talking about the last event of killing. How was it?
It happened yesterday, I believe so. Lamen Kerawan.
So what actually happened? Who was killed?
Both of them, the ladies are killed. The Lamen Kerawan, I think the man who killed the lady, they have that sort of connection. He's a solar installer. So I think that was
solar system installer.
Yeah. So it's not actually clear why he killed him, because the police reported that the man owes the lady $10,000. See? But the mother, the side of the story that the mother said police reported is a bit different.
Okay.
But the man actually killed him.
Killed the lady?
Yeah, he killed the lady.
And he was there to install this thing?
No, that's one. Just that is what is not that very clear. Something transpired between them. It's about money issue. Money was involved. I think what the mom told us is about she brought this guy to come and install solar. Okay. So after installation, I think the man is owing the lady $10,000. The solar so they requested for it. The man told the lady that no, anyway, this solar I can able to repair it or I'm going to fix it up. Okay. So after giving the solar to him, so for few hours, few days, few months later, nothing become possible. So the mom told him that try to bring my money back since you are interested about the solar. Hello. Yes. Maybe they must have a rift in that process then. So unfortunate. The killings are too much, and women are the vulnerable set with children. We are so fragile in this current situation. So in the Gambia, do we have forensics that do their research after such atrocities are committed?
Yeah.
Because the case of Maria not have not heard or seen and reported.
There is a forensic unit in the police.
Oh, okay.
They're responsible there, and I think they've not reached a
conclusion yet.
They're not saying anything about it.
Oh, okay.
But they are actually have a point.
May understand?
Forced to implement the 2018 peace agreement.
So is there a need for this?
Which one?
Please.
Yeah, of course, because this one you send by this one to receive.
How are you? Okay. This is Honorable Jallo. Your colleagues are just with me here at my own residence here in Abuko. Okay. Okay, no problem. You're welcome. Okay. 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 How's it? Thank you. Yes, exactly. I reside in Abuko. Abuko Sanchaba. Yeah. No, 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 no. No, it's part of KMC. It's part of KMC. The whole of Abuko is part of KMC. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, my brother of the ITV. Well, um, actually, it is a very great concern. Uh, Historically, Gambians have been known for their peace-loving state. But then, with the advent of democratic measures, people seem to be misconceptualizing what actually democratic values are. And recently, like you have already stated, it is evidently seen or heard that the Gambia is undergoing some very threatening murder cases. And it is a fact to say that the police are doing their best. And I think the state is as well concerned. And the situation needs to be addressed definitely. And one thing that seems to be the fact about these horrendous murders are that basically they are perpetuated by non-Gambians. And I think the state, from the president's office, all the other sister security forces, and particularly the immigration department, must take the necessary steps to see that this is addressed perfectly. Gambians are becoming very much threatened, and now the state of peace and stability that the Gambia once was known of, it seems we are being deprived of our that national status. So Gambians must be I didn't get that properly, please. Can you come again? Yeah, actually, we must understand that running a state is a very complicated issue. We may not want to blame the government totally because they're doing their utmost. But whatever is expected of the Gambian public is to see a very more a strict measure that would bring about a sense of peace and restore the safe atmosphere that Gambia was once enjoying. So here it has gone beyond the cadre of government alone. Gambians must take the responsibility of trying to be officers in a sense by being vigilant and reporting all issues that are not in line with the constitutional requirement of this country. You see, right, exactly. Yes, yeah, like you said, yeah, we must not entirely depend on blaming government alone, because I can also tell you that it is not an option for government to say that Gambians are being killed by foreign nationals, basically. But the issue is now that the problem is at hand, every Gambian must take the rightful measure in accordance with good citizenship and within the confinement of the constitutional law. This is what I am asking of. Government is doing their best, although they need to do more than what they're doing. But now that it is the Gambian lives that which are at stake, every Gambian must brace up in order to make sure that this situation is addressed. But the government should take the forefront. Actually, I tend to endorse that version. Yeah, actually, it must not be limited to the police alone. I think it should be now the duty of the head of state as the commander-in-chief, that's President Barrow, to give some executive orders which will involve all the sister security forces and then a more solid foundation is built, and then the security forces and equipped mentally and materially for them to go all out to make sure that these situations are addressed. It must not be limited to the police alone. The SIS, which is responsible of intelligence gathering, must go all out to try to detect issues prior to the occurrence of murders. This is what I would want to recommend. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Is it like a repetition? Yeah. For news. So I can help you with the mic.
So can I get this out?
Yeah, yeah.
I would give you my so that you send me this thing in my WhatsApp. You
Okay.
think you can do that for me?
Yeah.
And plus, but I would have loved. Yeah, it's yeah, right. Please, yeah, sorry. And
Well,
can I have this person also recorded? Baba money so that I would know my shortfalls. Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
Okay. Itu jacket, no, itu jacket. Aluma. Okay. Okay. Oh, good. I'll actually on your hand. Actually, okay.
So, Mr. Jallo, thank you so much for granting us this interview once again, and thank you so much for corresponding with our presenter
Thank you
out
very
there
much, sir.
in Welingara.
Right.
So, in your own analysis, how will you analyze the current murder cases that have been recorded of recent in the country?
Well, actually, thank you very much for that. I am really a concerned somebody because it's Gambian lives which have been lost. So I am definitely concerned, and uh, unfortunately, I can impact very limitedly because I'm no longer with the system. But nonetheless, through the media, I would want to urge a government from the president as the commander in chief of the armed forces and all the sister security forces to come together, program, policies and implement projects which will bring about, a total halt to this killing of Gambians, by basically foreign nationals. It is happening very, very, very frequently, and it shouldn't have been. And the impact it will have in the lives of Gambians would be too drastic, because I've watched a program on the QTV in which I think some persons of the people from the Brufut town were talking of their initiative measures that now they're using to establish some groups of vigilantes. So, you see, if it goes that far, sometimes some of these vigilantes might be carried away by their emotions, and they may react against suspected criminals, beyond the requirements of law. And again, it will be the infringement of human rights, and other issues of that nature. But again, where lives are at stake, Gambians definitely must be very responsive, you know. So I would definitely urge government, the security without much interference from the ordinary civilian who might not know what actually the law entails of how to arrest, how to carry out individuals. Is that okay? It's okay.
But the initial ones are recorded, right? So we have to start.
Yeah, exactly. I am a Gambian who is very much concerned about these murder cases, which are frequently occurring in our country. And then basically, I would want to, now that although I can impact very limitedly on it because I'm no longer within the security system, but nonetheless, I would want to respectfully explore, the the idea of convincing the president as the commander in chief to bring about some executive orders which the sister security forces would use morally in order to build up foundations by virtue of which they will be able to address the situation. And I think Gambians also as civilians must not always, see that it's the police job or it's the security job, and then tend to abstain themselves from playing their vital roles. And it has gone to the level where I've realized that people of Brufut are now of the concept to establish groups of vigilantes who will now pose as security defenders of their settlement in Gunyur, the Brufut. But then you will understand that as a legally minded individual, how much are these people going to be confined within the requirements of the law stands to be a question. So it should be the duty of government officials, security forces, who should definitely take up such rules in order to know how to arrest, and where necessary, detain individuals for the limited period of time as is stipulated under law. But then actually, the situations are very much threatening, and this would go to the level of building non-confidence in the minds of Gambians as to how much the state is taking care of them or being responsible of their welfare and their security. And again, in another sense, if this escalates to a higher level, I am telling you that it might, tend to prevent entrepreneurial personalities who would be coming in as investors, because this might be seen as, a nation without a sense of security. So this will also impact on the socio-economic aspect of things, because employments could have been generated if these people have been here, on certain business, establishments. But now, if the situation is not well addressed by the state and by Gambians in totality, I have the fear that, the impact might be very serious, both in losing lives and losing some economic advantages.
So most of these crimes that happen over the past week and even the incident that happened last night, most of them are conducted by foreign nationals. Do you think our laws are a bit so weak towards them? That is why we are recording such cases compared to what Gambians are doing in other countries.
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't want to be xenophobic because due to the principle or the African Charter on regional integration, ECOWAS is allowing regional individuals to move in and out from their home countries to other nations. But then, nonetheless, specifically, we've realized that most of these murders carried out have been conducted by foreign nationals. So automatically, it is signaling that government must develop some immigrational policies or some other, constituted laws that will bring about trying to monitor, the activities, and the interactions of foreign nationals with Gambians, so that by virtue of a law, there would be a sense of limitation that will guarantee, the security of Gambian citizens. Definitely, it is a concern. It is a concern, and Gambians have been very much nice all along to foreign nationals ever since. Because of that, we've earned the universally known adage of being the smiling coast. So, nonetheless, now that our lives are at stake, we must take some precautionary measures, whether they will come as executive orders at the level of the president, or whether they're going to be constituted acts at the level of the National Assembly or by parliamentarians, or should it be in any aspect, in which there would be strict laws or measures to bring about a sense of security for Gambians at large. The state should be more concerned and should be more proactive and see where necessary to take up even the necessary diplomatic, measures to arrive at dealing with citizens of foreign nations, at the level of their governments, so that our bilateral relations with other nations might not be jeopardized to the detriment of other Gambians who could be living, in other foreign nations or foreign lands.
Yeah, the security sector, of course, they are doing their level best. They've set the anti-crime unit and also the Operation Zero Crime. But despite all that, it's like the criminals were waiting on the government to set up these units. Now it's like more of vengeance. As a security legal-minded person, how do you think these criminals are thinking of doing all these atrocities?
I don't think it has to be vested upon the police alone with the zero crime group, or at least mode of operandi. But then Gambians must take up more vigilantly, as individuals who will be interacting more with these criminals. And again, it is the hospitality, the sense of fraternity, the sense of accepting other people as brothers and sisters into our families, into our homes, and then the sense of love that we have for them, which is giving them an edge over us, and then bringing out their real mood of life. Because if you've been, most of them are from war zones areas, so they've known the version of war, they've seen, the calamities of conflicts. So you will come to realize that to them, some of these actions that they perpetuate in might not be terrifying, as compared to Gambians. So if that version is taken into consideration, the state must develop rightful mechanisms and other policy frameworks which will bring about a sense of conditioning, maybe even landowners, where people are renting, such criminals are hiding, so that let there be develop a sense of monitoring, even from the state, whether the police or the intelligence, for every homeowner who has, foreign nationals residing in his or her home, must be given a form in which individuals' names and mode of living, that's business or whatever job they're doing, so that would be recorded, and this would be used by security forces to be monitoring these people on monthly basis. They can be conniving with the homeowners in order to be giving them information where intelligence could be built from, so that we will be able to know the intentions of such criminals who are non-Gambian, and then counteract such dangerous acts before Gambian lives are being lost.
Who tend to deviate away from it with the fear that they are not well equipped.
Well,
Soon,
I wouldn't say that they want to deviate. You see, the fact is, every standard of working needs some materials. Sometimes you don't have to blame them, because, like, for instance, if you talk of the rapid response that the civilians would want from the police, if they are not mobile and they're not well equipped, you will come to realize that it becomes a little bit difficult. So ordinarily, the ordinary civilian might not understand the hiccups that the police are undergoing, and then there they might see it as a way of negligence at the level of the police. But police are recruited, wholly and solely to bring about a sense of security at the public level. So they are both, here to enforce, the laws of this country, and as well protect lives and properties. So, and this I know they are definitely doing to the best of their capacities. It's just that, like you said, I would definitely want to buy the idea that, like, even those elders who were at the QTV the other day, from Brufut, reiterated the same things, that police would want to respond, but they're not equipped with vehicles. And in that aspect of it, definitely you will find it that it will be very much difficult. So here, what I would solicit definitely is for the president personally, as the commander in chief of the armed forces and responsible for national security as number one, must see that police at regional levels, at even um they have official level, areas that they're equipped with the necessary materials from vehicles or whatever issue is necessary for them to be able to respond rapidly in order to bring about a sense of securing Gambian lives. Because we might be in tandem with maybe what the constitutional mandate is on police. But now that the situation is changing, and we must remember that we are living in a conflict zone. Because if you think of the surrounding nation, I would not want to make mention of names, but there had been conflict almost in all over nations around surrounding the Gambia. So Gambia, foreign national might be equipped, or they might be equipped mentally in the idea of how to conduct wars or how to carry out actions or activities which are war related, gun related issues. And again, they have been traumatized by such incidents to the level that they have grown very callous. So killing an individual might not be too much a problem for them because the impact of such wars had already built a scenario in their minds, in the pictorial version of their brains, to indicate that they've become grown used to it. But then the state must take a change. If it should be now the requirement of getting police fully armed to deter the killing of Gambians by foreign nationals, I think the state should arm the police to the maximum standard. Let there be squads, to every region, every major police station, where Gambians would realize now these police are armed and they are equipped with vehicles when they're ready to react immediately once they're called to service. And then again, numbers be given at the state level, which would be the rapid response, calls, that will bring about, a sense of getting the police to the scenario, to the scene, immediately when they are needed, before Gambians are being killed by foreign nationals. And again, I can tell you psychologically, it will help to stabilize these criminals once they realize that now Gambian police are equipped with arms. I think it would be a deterrent measure, and it should be done.
So how would you want to be addressed